Okay, Battleground was garbage. I'm not going to really talk about it. That's all I'm really going to say. I derate the pay-per-view. I give it a D at best. It was just garbage. The only thing worth watching if you haven't seen it is the Rhodes versus Shield match. Everything else was just, it wasn't there. And it just proved a lot of what I've been saying in a lot of my videos, and just the misdirection, the misusage of time, the whole time management thing, and just throwing certain things under the bus just to accomplish something that in long term does no justice for anybody, especially when it's putting over a guy who's not even an in-ring performer anymore and a guy that's way past his prime. So Raw starts. Opening segment basically picks off where the pay-per-view left off with this. The Big Show came out with that whole interference and made it to where there's still no WWE champion. I mean, for God's sakes, we're going to stretch this whole thing out all the way to Hell in the Cell. Now, Hell in the Cell matches tend to end things. It's like the end-all of end-all matches. So this better be the last Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton match that we get. I mean, there's no reason for this match to be happening. How did either of these guys even earn a title shot? They're out of title shots. Daniel Bryan shouldn't have gotten the last one. It was just gifted to him when Triple H doesn't even want him to be the champion in the storyline, but yet he was just given the opportunity once again. I mean, most of everything that's gone on in this story doesn't make any sense. It needs to end. This needs to be the last freaking match. Let's just get it done with. And the WWE Championship is supposed to be the center focus of this whole thing. This whole entire faction, this corporation faction, had been planted around these seeds to get Daniel Bryan up to the top, and all they've successfully done is started this thing with Daniel Bryan feuding with Orton over here, and then they brought the Big Show into the picture with this whole entire, oh, I'm broke, I need to be able to support my family, so basically now I'm stuck doing what you guys say because you guys own me. You're the one that pays my paycheck, you own my mortgage, you own my house, blah 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 blah. And this whole thing just became focused around him. And I didn't want to admit it, earlier in a lot of my reviews, because I felt, okay, maybe they're just doing this just to add some more emphasis to the story. It just brings some more dramatization to it. It kind of clogged it up a little bit. But, a lot of it was good, but I was hoping that they would use this to the advantage of Daniel Bryan and have him, in the end, aid Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan goes over, wins the belt. Whatever they would do, not have him be the center focus of the entire thing, which is just stupid. I mean, come on. He's been around since WCW days, okay? He's not going to be around much longer. Nobody really cares about him, okay? I don't. I respect him, but I don't want to see him on TV anymore. I don't think a lot of people do. He really doesn't get a reaction when he goes out there anymore. And that's the sign right there, man. You're past your time. You're done. Just retire. So it is announced that we're going to get a repeat. The Rhodes family versus the Shield, except this time Dean Ambrose will be in the match and Daniel Bryan will be in the match as well, teaming with Rhodes brothers. So basically, two more people added to the picture. We get the same match that we had last night. That's basically what they were saying. Okay, so I already paid to see these guys go at it, and now I'm going to see it again on free TV, which defeats the point of me paying for it on pay-per-view. That is a great way to make me feel like I just completely wasted my money even more on buying a pay-per-view on Sunday. But let's go ahead and continue on here. The next match was a rematch between Ziggler and Damian Sandow, the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. This is the rematch from the pre-show for Battleground. The match was okay, nothing fantastic. Ziggler wins, further just burying the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. Apparently Ziggler injured his knee in that match or something, so he couldn't cash in because he was going to cash in during that pay-per-view or something. They were kind of building that into the story or whatever. Ziggler wins. To be honest, I really don't care. Even if this guy wins the belt, maybe he'll be the second guy to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase and lose. Even if he wins the belt, no one's going to buy into it. I mean, he has no build behind him. He hasn't won any matches, so what the hell? We got a backstage segment between Stephanie and Brad Maddox, the Raw GM. Basically, everything is his fault. That happened at, Battleground. Granted, he's not the guy that writes the freaking show, but, we're not going to announce that on TV. But regardless, he has to go out and apologize to the WWE Universe for his quote-unquote mistakes. Because he just has the power to rehire referees like Scar Armstrong, who got fired by Triple H. I mean, yeah, he has that power. Oh yeah, that's completely believable. I mean, come on, really. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon run the freaking show, for heaven's sakes. So I guess it was Bruno Sammartino's 78th birthday, the day before Raw, which is cool. And I guess he came out during a commercial break or something of that nature. Why didn't you have this on air on TV for people to actually see live? I mean, this is Bruno Sammartino, the longest reigning champion in history, the living legend. I mean, come on. Okay, after this we get a Divas tag match. Alicia Fox, Rosa Mendez, and Oksana versus Natalya, Eva Marie, and JoJo. And yes, people, I'm reading the names because, hell, if I can remember who the hell was in the match. My freaking memory loss here. But I don't know who this Eva Marie is or JoJo, but they were green as grass. I haven't heard their mic skills yet, but these two are green in the ring. And I guess it's JoJo. She looks like she's still a teenager. I mean, should she even be in the ring? I mean, they're both green as grass. They need to go back to developmental and be trained more to be better storytellers in the ring. It's not necessarily the lack of wrestling skills, it's the lack of storytelling ability that they have, which has kind of drawn me away from them just from seeing them this one time. I mean, I'm not making a judgment based upon this one time and making it in cement, but I'm just saying that from my judgments right now, they're just not ready to be on the show. They need more time to perfect their skills. They're just green as grass. The match itself was just short and bad. I mean, two of the people that were green as grass. You couldn't. Natalya and Alicia Fox couldn't save this. Let's just talk about the next match. Well, I guess before the next match, I gotta talk about this segment with Brad Maddox. He comes out and apologizes to the WWE Universe, and he announces that there's going to be a rematch for the WWE Championship because the championship is still vacant. That match will be at Hell in a Cell. Does it better end the freaking feud? For heaven's sakes. Now, for the last two sets of matches, neither of these guys should have had a title shot. Especially Daniel Bryan. He already lost his rematch clause, and it's like, okay, yeah, but we don't want you to be champion. We don't think that you fit our quota. What we consider to be the guy. You're definitely not him, but still, I'm going to give you, I hate you so much, but I'm going to give you another shot at the championship. I mean, that makes no sense. But they had their shots anyway, and because the Big Show got involved in this last one, this match makes sense. But like I said, this better end this freaking feud for the love of everything holy. Come on. Hell in the Cell matches are end-all of end-all matches. There shouldn't be a pay-per-view advertising them. But if you're going to do this in Hell in the Cell, this better be the end of this. Okay, Los Matadores versus 3MB. 3MB gets buried. I don't care. I love this Los Matadores thing. I found out from watching someone else's video that they're Primo and Epico are the guys that are under the masks, which, considering from what I had seen the last of them when they were doing that whole entire little riding down to the ring with the bike and all that stuff, I mean, this is way, way better. This is a great gimmick. It's kind of racist because they're, first of all, they're not Mexican. They're Puerto Rican. But it works. I mean, we'll go with it. I think it's a great gimmick. I like the little midget bull guy jumping around the ropes and all that stuff. Makes me want to see some midget wrestling. Vince, bring back some midget wrestling. That guy, the little bull guy is the shit. But they look like a tag team. They have an entrance together. They do in-ring moves together. The finisher is a tag team maneuver. It's just a really solid tag team, which is something that WWE needs. They need more solid tag teams. I mean, they have a couple now, but just adding more to the repertoire is always a good thing. I mentioned this before, the tag team division has gotten better from what I had seen from a year and a half ago until now. So, I mean, this is just more progression in the division, just bringing in more tag teams. Then we get a Paul Heyman segment, further dragging on this stupid CM Punk storyline, which I can give two shits about anymore. It's doing nothing for Ryback, it's doing nothing for Axel. This ends up getting drawn into a match. CM Punk with R-Truth. R-Truth magically comes out. Okay, yeah, he lost to Axel, and now he wants to get his redemption because he feels he let his fans down or whatever, when no one even gives a shit about him anymore because he's nothing now. They need to turn him heel or do something to give his character some emphasis so people actually give a damn about him instead of just completely staying silent whenever he enters the arena. R-Truth takes the beating for the most of the match. CM Punk eventually gets tagged in, does the damage, tags back in R-Truth. R-Truth gets his pin on Axel. Joy of the world. Punk needs to get his hands on Heyman and end this whole thing, okay? Heyman can be with, Ryback and Axel, but let him be the mouthpiece for those guys, because those guys are green as grass, okay? Let him get them over, but don't keep him as the center focus of everything. Let him be the guy in the background. He's not the in-ring performer. Come on. All this is doing is taking away time from Ryback and Axel and their singles careers and their pushes, and they're just getting buried to Punk in these situations. Okay, granted, Punk used a low blow to defeat Ryback, but he still beat him. Okay, yeah, you could say, okay, he got Ryback out low blows, so that's the only way Punk could have won. He couldn't have beat him straight up. But still, Ryback lost. And at this point in his career, he can't lose. He needs to win, not lose consistently all the time. So I hope, this is the end of this, and it's not going to be, that's apparent. There's going to be something at Hell in the Cell. Punk was like, we could do this here, we could do this at Hell in the Cell. I don't freaking care when the hell we do it. It ended up being a tag match on Raw. It's not going to be the end of the feud, but I hope it ends at Hell in the Cell, and that's it. I don't know what they're going to do. What are they going to do? Heyman versus Punk at Hell in the Cell? Is it going to be Ryback and Axel and Heyman versus Punk in a handicap Hell in the Cell? I don't care what the hell they do. Just end this stupidity. Bob Backlund. Yeah. Taking me back, man. Bob Backlund. Oh, shit. Man, still got it, man. The man can still cut the little promo. Nobody fucking cared. Man, I was fucking popping like a motherfucker. I was marking out. Hell yeah. Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. You have to be kidding me. Why are these guys red? Don't they hate each other? I mean, you stupid. Randy Orton is calling him stupid in the ring. And then you're going to have, after everything that Randy did to him, WWE, you're going to have Kofi put him over. You're going to have him put over that jackass. Kofi was getting a push back then over Orton. And Orton just buried him. He made him look so bad. And he's been treated like shit ever since. Thank you, Orton. Thank you. We actually got to see a side of Kofi that you didn't get to see before. And it was way better than the side of him we're getting now or we got before that. So, once again, thank you, Randy. After the match, Orton wins, obviously. Gets assaulted by Bryan. Makes things a little bit happier. Yay! But of course, Randy's getting his revenge later on in the night, but we'll get to that later. Then we get Shawn Michaels, who is the third person you could choose from on the WWE app. We vote between Shawn Michaels, Bob Backlund, or Booker T to be the guest referee at Hell in a Cell, Bryan versus Orton. Shawn comes out, cuts his promo. That's what it was. If you're like, if you didn't know, I trained Daniel Bryan, but not let that hinder my decision. I'm Triple H's friend, but this is business. I won't let it hinder my decision, even though I don't like Orton. I won't let it hinder my decision, blah, 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 blah. Then we get Alberto Del Rio versus Ricardo Rodriguez, and when Ricardo Rodriguez comes out, Vicky comes out and announces that Alberto Del Rio will be defending his World Heavyweight Championship against John Cena. Oh my God. Comes back from injury like nothing ever happened. Gotta love John Cena. It just further proves that the WWE has no faith in anybody other than John Cena. They have to bring him back so early when he's coming back from this injury. Supposed to be out 4 to 6 months. He's out for 2? Really, WWE? Really? Thank you for having such faith in your roster. Thank you. Anyway, Vicky makes the announcement. Del Rio's stunned. Rodrigo rolls him up. Pins him 1, 2, 3. Del Rio beats the crap out of him. And RVD is nowhere to be seen. Which makes no sense. Where's RVD? Now I'm assuming that the reason they did all this complete burial of him is because he's leaving the company. I guess. I mean, I don't know if that's the deal or not. Maybe his contract is up. They're trying to renegotiate. I'm guessing. I don't know. It's the only thing that makes sense about why he wouldn't be out there. He could be playing the injury angle, but that doesn't mean they keep him off the TV. Not when he just came on so shortly ago. I mean, I was reading up on it, trying to figure out when he came over from TNA, and it was only like 3 months ago. So, this is kind of weird. Fandango versus Zack Ryder. Fandango wins. Who cares? I don't give a damn. Jerry Lawler announces that the guest referee for the match between Bryan and Orton at Hell in a Cell will be Shawn Michaels. Cool. I guess whatever works. They're trying to sell more buys at a pay-per-view. I guess that's a good way to do it. Now Shawn Michaels is going to be there in some form or another. People might buy it. Who knows? The shortest Miz TV segment I have ever seen. The Wyatt family. They come out and then the lights hit and half of them are behind Miz. The Miz ducks out of the ring. That's the segment. What a great way to promote the Wyatt family. Yeah, I've been watching them for like a month now, and I have no idea who the hell they are or what they're doing. I mean, I know Brody Lee's in there, but what's the point of the faction there? They've done nothing. And what about The Miz and his revenge on Randy Orton that was announced? He's going to get his revenge on Randy Orton and all this. I mean, WWE. Really? Really? Okay, after this we get the Real Americans versus Santino and Khali. Actually, that was before the Miz segment. I missed over this. Rematch from the pay-per-view. Who cares? That's why I forgot about it. Who cares? The Real Americans win, and they get buried afterwards. But I digress, because I really don't give a damn about this. This was stupid. I paid to see it on pay-per-view, which I can care less about. I was pissed I had to pay for that. And I'm pissed I have to see this again on free TV when I just fucking paid for it, for God's sake. Wasted airtime at the pay-per-view. Wasted airtime now. You got great talent in Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro. What are you doing, WWE? Really? If you want to promote something with the tag teams WWE right now, okay, who has the current title shots? I think it's the Usos. Yeah, WWE, it's the Usos. What's up with that? You got the Shield and all this other shit going on, but yet they're the tag team champions. When are they going to defend those damn belts? When are they going to feud with the Usos? When is this going to happen? I mean, we've known that the Usos have had this title shot now for a couple of weeks. Come on. This whole quote-unquote corporate faction, which really isn't even there to begin with, is just stupid. It's taking away from so much on the show, but we'll digress from this stupid faction. Let's just get on with the main event of the show. Triple H comes out to make sure this match is going to go smoothly. Joy. Just wait for him to get fucking airtime, because he's going to increase the ratings. Oh yeah, that's the thought. That's a good idea, WWE. That's going to work out well. Daniel Bryan and the Rhodes family versus the Shield. The entire Shield this time including Dean Ambrose. I just paid for this, pretty much. 2 more people are added to it, but I already paid for this. They were going to live up to the match they had at the pay-per-view. I knew that. This match was good, but it was not as good as the one at the pay-per-view. Ambrose brings a chair into the ring, uses it, gets his team disqualified. Triple H is like, no, it's not going to happen. Restart this match. Randy Orton interferes by giving Daniel Bryan an RKO on the outside, just like Daniel Bryan interfered in his match, or at the end of his match. Randy Orton made his presence known, rolls him back into the ring. Daniel Bryan gets pinned, 1, 2, 3, end of the match. Then the Big Show, who was fired earlier in the night, comes out with entrance music down the ramp. Really, WWE? Really? After he got fired? Wouldn't you think he should come out of the audience or somewhere else? He got escorted out of the building. He shouldn't even be there. Have him come through the audience. And he's fired. Why does he have an entrance music? Why is he coming down the ramp if he's not on the roster anymore? You fired him. And he knocks Triple H out. Just further proving this is about Triple H and the Big Show and nothing else. What a bad show. I mean, we did find out there's going to be an IC Championship match on Friday. Curtis Axel got pinned by R-Truth in the tag match they had earlier in the night. You would think they would do that at the pay-per-view. I mean, granted, there's no build for this anyway, and it was a fluke pin for R-Truth because CM Punk did all the damage anyway. But you would think they would at least book this for the pay-per-view and give us some build or something and do something with it. I mean, really, WWE, really? Free TV? But whatever. Alright, we do know that we're going to get Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton in Hell in a Cell, at Hell in a Cell. Shawn Michaels, special guest referee, but that's all we know, and the pay-per-view is, 2 weeks away now? To be quite frank, the same reason I didn't want to review Battlegrounds, the same reason I didn't want to review Raw, but I had to review something, and to continue on about what is going to happen in the progression of these storylines, I had to at least review Raw. But Raw was trash. D-rate show. It was a really bad show. A lot of stupid things. I didn't learn enough about the pay-per-view. They haven't enticed me at all to want to buy the pay-per-view. This whole thing around Big Show and Triple H is just really on my freaking nerves. It's so ridiculous. You're going to put the focus of the entirety of the most important thing that you're doing with the company around the two pretty much oldest guys that are on the show, when the most important thing should be Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan. And the second most important thing should be the whole Rhodes feud with Triple H and the Shield and all that stuff. Okay? Having things revolve around Triple H so we can get airtime because he's the game, he's the man, he has to be there, he has to always be in the top thing that's going on. The only person that Triple H should be feuding with is Daniel Bryan, and that is all. Daniel Bryan having a win over Triple H at this point in his career would mean more than him holding the championship. It would solidify, it would cement him as being a main eventer. He would have beaten one of the Super Friends, the founder of the Super Friends. Yeah, but I'm derating this show. This show did no justice. It had some decent matches on it, but the show was just a pile of garbage, a bunch of crap that didn't need to be there, just filler, just nonsense, it was nothing to see at all. The main event was it. That was it. That was the only thing that made the whole show, and that's not going to save it. And then at the end of it all, the main event got screwed up. All the overbooking and interferences that were done throughout the night screwed it up, especially in the main event. And then Big Show and Triple H standing tall in the end, basically. Granted, in the end, Daniel Bryan standing over Triple H knocked out going, yes, but he didn't do it. That doesn't change the fact that he's not the focus of the primary thing that's going on in WWE right now. And the focus should be the WWE Championship, which involves Bryan. But apparently that's not the most important thing. But at least it's not John Cena, and he's feuding with Del Rio for the championship now, going into Hell in the Cell. So at least it's not that. At least he's not the most important thing going on right now. But bringing him back for ratings or pay-per-view buys because they have no faith in anyone else on their freaking roster. I'm done. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. Subscribe. You know what it is. Peace.